there, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing super duper well. For today's video, we are going to be finishing this build finally. We are going to be furnishing this building here, which is our little crystal shop. But before we begin, I want to show you guys that I actually ended up doing a couple changes. So in our last video, which if you have not watched it, I will link it here. I was a little wishy-washy about a couple things and I ended up changing them. I ended up changing the sofa. I originally had some black sofas and I just wasn't vibing with it. So I ended up changing those out. That's change number one. And change number two, I ended up changing the dining room table. I'm still not 100% about this one. Maybe it'll change again. I don't know. We shall see. But I just wanted to say something so that if you do go down to download this build, which hopefully it is on the gallery if I did my job, and you see that those things are different, then you will not be confused. But I think that was the only two changes I made. So without further ado, let's get on with the build. All right, welcome to our crystal shop. So there are a couple things that I'm using to decorate our little crystal shop here. Well, aesthetics, I should say. There's like aesthetic that I want for this shop. Obviously, very dark and moody. The walls, everything is black. So we're going to be using a lot of black in this building. I wanted to go for a darker aesthetic, and we are also going to be using jewel tones. Ha. Yeah, I'm sorry, that was a dumb joke, but yeah, no, like that's actually what it's called. So lots of, if you don't understand what jewel tones are, that means like blues, reds, purples, greens, like emerald green, like darker, very rich colors. And they are called jewel tones because they are obviously called that because they look like the color of different jewels. And obviously, since this is a crystal shop, I thought that would work well. I'm gonna try and find, there's like a little coat tree I want to put in here. All right, we're gonna put this guy right about there. And yeah, that's what I'm going for in this build. So it's going to be quite dark. And then I want to have some fun little pops of color. I'm going to also be placing this little dressing table here against this wall. I just don't want to leave this space empty, but I also didn't feel like dragging all of the rest of the sales floor into this room also. I wanted to have a space for you to come in and just like take it all in, I suppose. So yeah, we can move on to our actual little sales floor now. All right, so as you can see, I did go ahead and place our lights in the downstairs and upstairs, and then there's these little ceiling lights. I forget the exact word for them right now. These are temporary, so when you download the build, they are not going to be here, and there's going to be more of like a moody sort of lighting. But obviously for the video, I want you guys to be able to see what I'm doing, so I have to have some extra lighting. But yeah, I like to have some moody lighting in our builds. It just helps with the aura and the vibe of the build a little bit. Okay, I think I want to use, we're going to use this rug a couple times. It's the one that came with the Crystal Creation shop, but I'm going to use obviously like different swatches and stuff. That is not the swatch I want. I like the sun. Okay, we'll use this one here. And that is not quite where I want it, question mark. Maybe we'll go out a little bit more and we'll place this here. I'm looking at a reference picture. So yeah, if you've never watched any of my videos, I do use reference pictures. I will build something to like 80% done, and I will do a little bit of planning so I can kind of know what I want, like furniture and aesthetic wise. And then I will take pictures so that I can replicate it for the video. It's just, I'm a very anxious person. So if I were to try and just freestyle build something without at least a little bit of a plan, I would be a nervous wreck, unfortunately. And this just helps me to make a more coherent video for you guys to enjoy as well. Trust me, this benefits you as much as it benefits me. As much as I ramble in my videos, it would be a lot worse if I did not at least plan something for this video. All right, so I think I'm honestly going to be using pretty much all of these. I'm going to place them and then we're going to change the color in just a moment. All right, I'm trying to eyeball and see what I think I put where. So far that looks okay. All right, what is this final little... Actually, I think I'm just gonna copy and paste this one over here as well. And I might zhuzh this guy over here and then put another one of these dudes over here just for the sake of symmetry. And then here's where those jewel tones come in play. I want to use... Don't you come in a purple? There's the purple. I want to use the purple sponge because I love purple. Purple's like I think purple's my favorite color. It's one of my favorite colors. I honestly like a lot of like jewel tones and stuff. So this build in particular is right up my alley. All right, so that is that. And I am gonna copy and paste this guy over here and swing us around, and I'm gonna be placing this table here. Just to help create some, so your eye has somewhere to go to and stop when you're in the shop, and also they can put some decorative things or things that are for sale here. Yeah, that's it. All right, I also want to pick out some chairs to put in front of our lovely little fireplace, and I think I am going to be using the ones that came with the Realm of Magic. We're gonna use these guys, and I am going to be picking, hopefully the black shade. Does that look black? That does look black, question mark. I'm still questioning it, hold on. All right, I'm gonna use this shade because I kind of like having that little fun pattern on this chair there, and it just helps it to look a little more interesting. And I'm gonna try and zhuzh this guy closer to the fireplace in a way that hopefully will not completely block that case. However, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to not block that case, to be honest, but I'm gonna try my best. All right, I thought about it, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab our fireplace stuff. There's only a fireplace downstairs. I don't think I put one upstairs in our workshop area. So yeah, I just don't want to forget to put fireplace stuff in here as well, because I tend to do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and place these in their appropriate spots. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, I got a new pack. Woo! I went and got the Love Struck pack, so I got new stuff to play and decorate with. I have not played with the pack yet, but I'm going to have to go and experiment with that and see. I think I very quickly, briefly went and like looked around the world, because I had not, obviously, if I don't have the pack, I don't really get to explore the world much other than seeing other people's videos. But yeah, so there are some things, like I did use this doorway. This archway, I should say, is from Love Struck. And yeah, I'm really excited to have the new pack. It's so exciting when you have a new pack. So yeah, I just wanted to say that just in case you noticed if you watch my other videos. Yeah, I did not have all the packs. I have a very good amount of them, but not all of them. That is something that I'm working on. I kind of have a rule. I only buy packs when they are at least 50% off, because I unfortunately do not have income at the moment, and I have to be a responsible adult and not spend all of my money on on Sims kits and stuff. You know, once I get monetized on here making YouTube videos, which will hopefully be at some time in the future, I will love to be able to invest it right back into this channel. That is my plan. But yeah, until then, I have to be a little bit more responsible with my money spending. Okay, so I'm going to be placing displays, but I think that I'm going to wait and decorate them and fill them post-production. So we're just going to be placing the basic furniture and decorations here in this build. And then at the end, you will get your usual Zoom tour, and that is where you will see everything all filled up and stuff. It's just because I could be quite forgetful when it comes to placing the little tiny bits and bobs and stuff, and that way I can kind of give myself a little bit of grace just in case there is something that I forget while I'm recording. So yeah, if you ever are watching the end Zoom tour and you see all of a sudden there's a bunch of new stuff in the build, yeah, that's because I went and forgot to put some stuff. All right, I'm looking around. I'm just making sure that there isn't anything else that I forgot. You know, we can still try our best to not forget things, but it does happen sometimes. And other than there's like this Crystal Creations poster, I think I want to put over with this room, which is going to be our bathroom. I think that we will move on to decorating said bathroom in just a second. So let me grab this little poster. Which one do I think I want to use? Obviously, I want the dark aesthetic. All right, not that one, but we can, excuse me, look at the different swatches and see. Oh, I don't like the brown wood. Boo. All right, never mind. We're not using this. Sorry, I don't like the brown wood. I wish they would have given us some options for brown wood. But anyways, let's move on to our little bathroom. Okie dokie, little bathroom time. This is gonna take like 5 seconds. We are gonna be using the same toilet that we've been using in the rest of the build, which is going to be the vampire one. And we are going to use the black swatch. And I will be placing it up against this wall right here. All right, I'm looking at our layout. I think I might have to place the sink here, question mark. Or I could place, okay, no, I cannot place the sink there because of this window. So either I can sacrifice this window, turn the toilet here, place the sink here, place something here, but I don't think I want to do that, so I think I'm going to place the sink here. Yes, all right, yes, that's what I've talked myself through it, so we're going to do that. We're going to use the same sink that we were using in the rest of the build, and I believe it's this one. I was questioning myself, that's why I was talking like that. And, ooh, do I want to use this one or that one? I also have this one. That one's kind of like a happy middle. I kind of like the vibe of the slightly darker. Yeah, we're going to use this one. I kind of like that vibe. The metal. I kind of like the color of that metal. It's very interesting looking. All right, so we can use, I think I originally wanted to use this one. Tragically, this mirror, unless I can't shrink it down, because this would be so perfect for in here because it has crystals and stuff on it, but unfortunately it's gonna do that weird mirror thing if I do that. I could stick to what I originally picked and use this mirror from the Realm of Magic, because that black and brown color would work quite nicely in here. Or I was also eyeballing this one. I don't know. I kind of am liking this one from the For Rent pack. I'm sorry about the lighting. I'm really hoping you guys are able to see this. Maybe I should have added more. All right, so we can use that one or we can use this one. All right, let's switcheroo you guys real quick. All right, I think I want to use this one. It just fills up that space a little tiny bit better. But I do want to take a little gander and see if maybe there's like a slightly darker. No, we're going to stick to the black. All right, I just wanted to see if maybe there was like a slightly dark brown shade or something that we could use. But yeah, I'm going to stick to that. All right, I'm going to go and give them some little toilet paper and maybe we'll give them some bathroom storage or something just so that it doesn't look quite so empty in this room. I'm going to stick our toilet paper right there. We should also probably give them a curtain because this is like over here is like the walkway. So people are walking by, they can just like look over and see our patrons using the bathroom. That's kind of a violation of privacy. So let's see, I could use this one. I kind of don't like how bright silver that is. So let's look at some other options. We could also use this one from the Bistro kit. I do not remember the name exactly. I think this will work nicely. I'm sorry guys, I'm trying really hard to make sure you guys are able to see with the camera and stuff, but it's difficult when it's such a small room. I think that could work. I'm gonna do a very quick little glance just to make sure there isn't something else I wanted to use. I was kind of eyeballing this one. But I want to look at the different swatches because yeah, it doesn't have like a black swatch. For whatever reason, I'm wanting this bathroom to be very black, but I guess I could technically use a little pop of color in here. I don't know. All right, I think I'm going to stick to that curtain for now. I don't want to spend too much time on our tiny little bathroom. So I think that this will work for now. Maybe I'll come and look at this again later. We are going to move on to the upstairs, which is going to be the actual workshop area for our crystal crafter. All right, welcome. First and foremost, I am noticing this once again, this little window is in the wrong spot, so I'm gonna fix that. Oh my goodness, I laugh at myself sometimes. I'm just like, what was I thinking putting that there? It's just, again, I get so nervous when I'm recording still. Like at this point, it's been like 8 months and I'm just a very anxious person by nature. So it just happens, but it's okay. I think I'm going to use this curtain again. We used it in the other shop, but the red is very striking against all the black. So that is the goal. That is what I want. Is I want there to be so many little pops of color, for your little eyeballs to enjoy up against all of the black that we have in here. I don't know. I just thought that it would look very interesting. So again, if you download the build and you're like, oh, I like the build, but I don't like some of the decor and stuff she picked, not a problem. Power to you. If you want to switch something out, you are welcome to do so. Okay, that's why it's not popping up. I clicked the paranormal pack thinking that it was the Crystal Creations one. All right, I was so confused for a second. Here we go. I wanted this one. Okay, so obviously we're going to be using these lovely bookcases. I don't want that one, actually, I want this one. And we are going to be using the purple shade again. This one, and I'm going to place that one here. And then I'm trying to see which one. I think, yeah, we'll just do two. So I'm going to place our other one right here. And I'm going to switch this one to the purple shade also. Okay, do I want the purple one? Now I'm second guessing it. Hold on. Okay, I wanted the purple. I'm not sure, because now the light wood is kind of bothering me. So I'm gonna keep moving on a little bit, and then I'm gonna think about it. Because that purple now is kind of bothering my eyeballs a little bit. Or not the purple, but like the wood. That light colored wood is kind of too bright for this room. So don't get too used to it. I think we're gonna switch it out, but I'm gonna think about that for now. So I'm gonna put the actual like crystal crafting table there. And then for over here, I want to squidge a desk in. And then we are, of course, going to be using this lovely chair that I absolutely love. Okay, that one does not have a chair. That's an interesting decision. And then we are also going to be using the sofa. And oh, do I have to pull that out or do I not have to pull that out? We're going to pull it out just slightly. I just want to make sure it's not hitting into there too much. I still don't know what color I want to do. All right. Okay. Let's think about that right now. I think I want to use this one. The wood is still slightly different, but I can kind of ignore that. This green is also interesting, but the gray is kind of eh. I could be ultra safe and just keep it this color, this gray, but that also is kind of boring. I kind of don't want to do that. Or I could do this dark wood. Okay, because our doors are black, I kind of don't want to do that. All right, see, this is what I mean. I was like, oh, let me like think about this in the background because I can be so particular. It's just that having the books be all black and gray like that, it kind of weirds me out. For whatever reason, it just doesn't look right. So, I don't know. All right, I'm kind of between this bluish green. It just, for whatever reason, it's kind of like an odd teal. I'm not quite feeling it. I want to see what that color looks like around here also. Because I kind of like the blue up against the red. So what does that look like? Because it looks like a black and white movie almost. And it's very odd. I don't like that. All right, I think we're going to stick with this blue swatch here. It's just, I don't know. The other ones are kind of weirding me out. And it's really odd. My brain didn't pick up on that until like right now. I think it's just because I'm actually recording, so my brain is like being ultra conscious of what I'm doing. Maybe that's why I noticed it. But originally when I was doing the build, it did not bother me then. It's very odd how your mind can do that to you. I think I want to stick to black for the desk. I can change this color if I want. I could make this be purple if I wanted to, honestly. All right, we'll try that. We'll see. I'm kind of vibing with it, but I might change my mind here again in a second. I'm sorry. I don't like going back and forth. I feel like that can be very confusing for you guys to watch. So that's why I like to prep things and have a pretty good idea of how I want the build to look before I start recording, because otherwise I'm just going back and forth being very indecisive, and that is not always the most entertaining to watch. So I do want to give them a little seating area, and all right, this should be enough room for them to go through, but I am going to squish this coffee table in just a little bit more just to make sure, because they are able to go through here. They can go through here. Okay, that should be fine. All right, so now I need to decide on these colors. All right, so this is what I'm going with for right now. This might change, so if you're gonna go watch the Zoom tour, which you will at the end of this video, this might change. I think I'm just gonna wait and play around with this a little bit later on, but I wanna move on to doing a bit more of our decorations so that we can be done with this video, because I do have another video I'm gonna be recording today, so I need to get going on that. All right, so I'm gonna be putting a little plant here, and then I'm gonna go over here and just copy and paste the same curtain over to these windows, because yeah, I like having that little pop of color. But yeah, those colors and stuff, I don't know why they're tripping me up right now, but yeah, it's kind of bothering me a little bit. So we're gonna work on that in just a second again. So I'm gonna put those there. All right. Is there anything else I want to put around here? Except for all the other extra decorating and stuff I'm going to be doing off camera in the little Zoom tour. I'm looking around and I don't know. I think this might be where I'm gonna leave you guys. So I'm gonna work on this a little bit. You're gonna go and watch the Zoom tour, so you can skip over the at least an hour that I'm probably gonna go spending looking around and being a perfectionist. So yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna end this video. So thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss out on any of my future videos. Take care, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.